and Roll Express were defending their titles against the Wild Cards and Eli Drake and James Storm. Pasty, you thought the Rock and Roll were keeping it again. I thought the Wild Cards were taking it back after they lost.
We were both wrong.
Oh, and the makeshift team of Eli Drake and James Storm, which, by the way...
Who were the most obvious to win it, really?
Out of these two teams, they're probably the best team. I really like them as a team, but they just seem like so much better single stars. But they won it. This is cool. I'm interested to see what they do with this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good fit for NWA, though, to have them as your tag team champions.
Oh, of course.
That's a pretty dream team, even though they're a brand new thing.
You know, Rock and Roll Express has the name, but everybody knows they're way, way past their prime. Still amazing and still in better shape than Pasty
Drake can be the mouthpiece, and Storm can be the silent badass. It's good.
Well, and the Wild Cards, although they're great champions, but Royce Isaacs and Tom Latimer aren't big names that you're going to sell a TV show on or a pay-per-view on. So to put Eli Drake and Storm in there makes sense business-wise.
Yeah.
We also had the NWA World's Women's Championship match, where Thunder Rosa took the title from Allison Kay in an amazing catch-as-catch-can, ground and pound, just awesome hold wrestling match, to the mat match. I loved it. Great storytelling. I'm going to say it right now, my favorite match of the night. I thought this was just super awesome. Loved it. I recommend anybody, if you're going to watch just one match, go and watch this one, surprisingly.
From my own personal knowledge, did the last match not have a time?
It had a time. Wikipedia didn't release the time. Dave Meltzer didn't release the time, so I didn't write the time.
So it's a conspiracy, is what you're telling me. So the Rock and Roll Express really did retain their championships just due to the magic of editing. This is what we got. Point for Pasty.
1 point for Pasty. Do you feel better, Pasty?
Yes.
By the way, this match with for the women's championship, longest match on the card, and I think that might also have something to do with why I feel it was the best. It actually gave them time to tell a story, because sadly, this is only one of 2 matches out of 10 that goes over 10 minutes long. So, Pacey, we move on to the semifinal matches.
Sad when you got to complain about the opposite of a WWE pay-per-view.
I know, right? Isn't there a happy medium? Give us a happy medium. I was really excited for this pay-per-view, and it let me down. It's not a horrible pay-per-view. I just feel like this is one that could have been done over 2 episodes of a show and been the same thing.
Hey, I mean, AEW's second pay-per-view wasn't that great either.
Right. Semi-final round for the television championship. Trevor Murdoch defeated Dan Moff in 3.5 minutes. So we're still, kicking ass there. Dan Moff, his 2 matches have gotten to just 6 minutes now. So he spent 6 minutes in the ring. Woo!
That's a good payday.
I'm telling you. Trevor Murdoch, 6.5. Other semifinal match, we had Ricky Starks defeat Tim Storm in just under 5 minutes. Again, nothing really to go over with any of these. NWA National Championships, we seen Scott Steiner defeat Aaron Stevens, but this was by DQ when the question mark came in and busted out some of his Mangrovian techniques on Big Papa Pump. We did get to see another Mangrovian exhibition, thank you, match. Or exhibition ahead of time, breaking boards and all that. I love the whole Mangrovian.
Yeah, I love going back to the made-up places.
Yeah, they make up their own thing. It's obviously shitty kung fu that nobody's mastered. I love the fact, one of the great things, and this, of course, is very similar to their taped shows. One of the things I love about it is he's sitting there talking about, the school where you can learn the Mangrovian techniques, and you can just hear the people in the crowd going, "Where's the school? Where's the school?" Because, of course, it's a made-up school.
Oh, my God. We never considered this before, but we need Broken Matt in NWA.
Oh, I think he would fit in 100%
with the small studio
perfect.
Audience and the studio feeling. The whole thing would fit the Broken.
It would fit perfect. I would love him there, and his creativity could only help.
Oh,
he's got an old school wrestling mindset,
I think I want that more than anything else now for him. That's my new, shoot it into my bloodstream.
So then we had what should have been probably, in my opinion, the main event if you weren't going to have the Women's Championship, the main event. NWA versus Ring of Honor. It changed at the pay-per-view to actually be a title match. So the NWA World Heavyweight Championship was on the line. It originally wasn't, but they made it that way at the pay-per-view. But Nick Aldis still ended up defeating Flip Gordon in a really good match. I really enjoyed this. It was fun. Marty Scurll was banned from the building, so he wasn't allowed to be in there. He had made his presence known earlier. Of course, him and Nick Aldis have a feud going, so
yeah, obviously,
that was kind of cool.
Flip wasn't gonna win it because it's gotta go to Scurll next.
Right, and by the way, just a
unless Aldis
here.
beats Scurll and runs him out of NWA and he goes, AEW,
right,
could be a good route too.
Just stays with Ring of Honor where he's already signed his contract to.
Yeah.
For 3 years. But a side note that has to do with this, on the next episode of NWA Power, Nick Aldis said he will give Marty Scurll a title match at their next pay-per-view at the Crockett Cup, with the stipulation when Marty Scurll loses, he is going to refund the entire audience the money they paid to go there because they don't deserve to have to watch him wrestle. Which is just super old school Heat awesome shit. I love it. It's hokey, but I love it. And
when there's 30 people in the audience, it's not that hard to do.
Right. He can just take it out of his wallet. He's got it on him. I got this, son. I got this. But very, very good match. That one went 15 minutes, 20 seconds. Again, they gave him time. They let him tell a story. It was fun. We had what was the main event, the finale for the television championship tournament. Ricky Starks defeated Trevor Murdoch. My boy went the distance, and I'm going to say this right now. If it wasn't for Ricky Starks, Fat Mac would not have won this pay-per-view because we tied everything, whether we won or lost, except for my 3 Ricky Starks wins. Those are my only wins that are ahead of you. You was 5-8. I was ahead by 3. They were all my Ricky Starks. Ricky took it for me, baby.
My plan backfired. Damn you, question mark. You let me down.
So with that being said, best match of the night, I'm giving to the Women's Championship match. I loved it. Recommend anybody watch it.
Nice.
And final grade of the night, I'm giving it a C+. It maybe could have been less, but it's hard to gauge an NWA pay-per-view right now. And C+ isn't great.
Right.
So I think it's a deserved C+. I think it's
probably a good measuring stick going forward too.
Right.
Nice middle of the board score. So I guess now it is time for that part of the week where we give you the news in your face. It's the Savage Sentinel, and this week it's supersized for the Super Bowl because it is Super Bowl weekend. And we're starting the Savage Sentinel off with some football news. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers tight end, who happens to be a huge pro wrestling fan, came under fire for a hand gesture he was performing at his first down celebration. Many noted the similarities to the white supremacist OK hand sign that has made disgusting rounds through elitist colleagues and bigoted police forces. Colleges? There you go. Through elitist colleges and bigoted police forces, and has become well known around this country in recent years. Yet any wrestling fan could have explained what it really meant, so Stone Cold Kittle made the rounds on Super Bowl Media Row to explain the celebratory phalange flashing. It's from Pentagon Jr. He's an AEW wrestler, Kittle said. Cero miedo means no fear. And so for 2 years ago in New Orleans, I went to WrestleMania and I watched him wrestle like 6 different times at a bunch of different shows. And just his swagger in the ring and his confidence kind of stuck with me. And I mean, wrestling, it's something that I love and enjoy too. So just seeing that in the ring and just know how he holds himself and how he enters the ring, how he leaves the ring, everything he does has a purpose. And I just kind of love that. Penta knew of this long ago and returned the favor last week, supporting the People's tight end by donning his jersey in multiple tweets, showing off his collection of championships and mascaras de luchas.
So it's cool. It's cool to see. Not only is it always nice to see other media or other sports give some love to pro wrestling, but to throw it out to Pentagon Jr., who is starting to become a huge name in wrestling, but is still an unknown outside of the wrestling bubble. And I think this is a good example because people thought it was...
It's super awesome to see like that getting publicized. It's good for Penta. It's good for AEW.
And it's awesome of George Kittle to do it. To just go out there and make the rounds and not only just say, no, it's a wrestling thing.
It's
or
so funny because back in the day, they
WWE
used to say the
thing.
Too Sweet was like a Satanist thing, you know? And so now Penta's thing is a racist, bigoted thing. And how long is it going to be till Daniel Bryan's yes is like controversial? It's a male chauvinistic rapist kind of thing. You're forcing it on them.
She didn't say yes. You can't just imply yes. You can't tell them yes. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker. God, she's my hero. I just want her to be a motivational speaker, just in anything. Put down the hot dog. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker. Have you ever tried not being fat, fucker? Take a walk.
Personal training.
I just love her. She is. With that being said, Cyber Agent Inc. God, that sounds like a new Dwayne Johnson movie I want to watch.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like one that I won't watch. He has a handful of those.
He does. Cyber Agent Inc., which is the parent company of Dramatic Dream Team Pro Wrestling, of course in America made famous by Kenny Omega, announced the purchase of Pro Wrestling Noah, the company founded in 2000 by former All Japan Pro Wrestling star Mitsuharu Misawa, rest in peace, after he had led a mass exodus in which 24 of All Japan Pro Wrestling's 26 contracted wrestlers left the promotion to form Noah. Holy fucking shit.
Jesus, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, they had some,
You can't build a company on two guys.
They had some per-date wrestlers. You can imagine if they're the contracted wrestlers, they're their bigger named ones, their better ones. So, yeah, when you lose 99.3% of your company... wow. Anyways, joke's on them. All Japan's still around, and Noah just got bought out. That's sad. Anyways, WWE had also reportedly tried to purchase Noah recently. The move here, though, is to help protect the integrity of Japanese wrestling culture. This is similar to Bushiroad, which we had recently broke news that the parent company of New Japan acquiring Stardom, which was another Japanese wrestling promotion, and WWE had tried to buy in their efforts to make a push in the Japanese wrestling market. I think this is so awesome, Pasty, that the Japanese wrestling community is sticking together and putting their feet down and not letting WWE come in and just buy them out.
It's good.
We like it.
They did put up a fight against Disney, too, and eventually caved in, though. I'm just going to say that.
That is true. There will not be any major changes in the in-ring product, at least as of now, but there will be some changes moving forward. Specifically, Senshiro Takagi, president of DDP, will also now serve as the president of Pro Wrestling Noah. Takagi has said that there is no consideration of a merger between DDT and Noah, and also said that this move is a way to help repay Mitsuharu Misawa, who helped save DDP in the past. DDT. Both of them.
Saved Diamond Dallas Page.
He
taught him yoga.
He helped save DDT in the past. Now, to be clear, Pasty does like to put a lot of extra research in, and so does Fat Mac. And we both looked into this, and I could not find anywhere where there was a connection with Mitsuharu Misawa and Noah. But obviously, I completely understand and agree and believe, or with DDT, I mean, sorry, that happened. I don't think he would just make this up. So that's cool. I just couldn't find anywhere what the specific was because I was going to report on that. I like to let people know what's going on. Couldn't find anything on it. Still, Mitsuharu Misawa, one of my all-time favorite pro wrestlers of all time, but definitely one of my top 3 Japanese wrestlers of all